Alright, dickheads, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best art platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination. They taught me how to draw like this. Not this specifically, but how to use forms and manipulating forms to create the worlds that you want from imagination and to not be bound by your reference, but to manipulate your reference. I think I'm fucking up their entire slogan. I'm not affiliated. I'm a dick writer, right? Get your pen, get your paper, draw along with me. Let's work hard together and let's do our best together. Plus, I need the retention. Body doubling is a new meta, right? Yeah, anyways, I'm Viggy. I've been drawing for 3 years and 6 months, right? This channel, apart from my own art goals, serves as a holistic and extensive documentary, why'd I say it like that? Documentary of art practice and what the work it takes to become great, and the fact that it is just work, directionally correct work to become great, right? And the fundamentals, right? Fuck, I don't even have an example, but like, you know, the primitive forms and everything that gets complex with the primitive forms is 90% of my practice. Imagination drawings are 10% of my practice, where I apply, try to be creative, try to utilize that shape, language, blah, 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 bullshit. Get your pen, get your paper, draw along, right? This isn't good, but it is believable, right? And this is just purely because I know line, form, and perspective. That's it, and barely at that. So with that being said, get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Today's an exciting day because I actually figured out a lot of things. And all it took was a fucking Google search because I'm retarded. So hopefully this will, my 40 hours, my 100 hours of trial and error now, and to this point can be avoided, right? Not the trial and error, of course, you're gonna fucking do the work, but the misunderstanding, right, can be avoided for you. Anyways, this is just for full transparency's sake, because this is a fucking repository, documentary, whatever the fuck, of art practice, right? 1 hour of drawing I did at a park this past weekend, right? There's fucking water spilled on it, but yeah, like I didn't get to finish it. But this made me realize A, I draw too big, I struggle with proportions, and B, I want a thinner pen. So I was like, what pen does Kim Jong-gi use, right? What fine liner did he use? I'm a fucking Kim Jong-gi dick writer, right? So even in death, the I was gonna make a dick joke. Anyways, about him being hard, and is that disrespectful? Possibly, but he had a sense of humor, so I'd like to think he's chuckling while spitting on my grave. My soon-to-be grave, because he will be haunting me. I'm just gonna stop. But anyways, this pen, Jesus Christ, such shit jokes. Not good either. Pigma Micron 01, right? Sakura Pigma Micron 01. So basically this, I was like, I wanted basically the thin brush pen, sign brush pen artist fuckery, the super thin, difficult brush pen, fine liner version, right? So I got this because I was like looking at what he got, and then I googled it and I found out it was this one, similar to this. Basically, it's like a 0.25 tip, right? But whatever the fuck this is, yeah, 0.25 millimeter tip, right? So this was a reference drawing I did, drawing from reference, and you can see because of my understanding of line, form, and perspective, even though it's extremely difficult to translate the reference into, like, because I still struggle with proportion, this entire drawing, like the space, the actual understanding of space was relatively intuitive, right? As in I wasn't thinking, because drawing is thinking, therefore I want to be very explicit. I wasn't really thinking about that, but because it looks believable, but it looks believable because of the 1,000 plus hours of intentional volumetric and space and spatial reasoning practice I've done, right? But I was mainly practicing trying to figure out, again, like values, how the fuck do you like give texture, how do you give scale, right? The reference was much more difficult. This is why I struggle with proportion, right? Because this bike, the wheel, it's like this big, right? It should have been like this big, because this person's head is actually cut off. He's like this big in the reference, and then he has like 3 other people around him, and then this background is much further away, right? But yeah, again, for transparency's sake, 2 hours of drawing as well. That is not cataloged, but this is like my sketchbook shit. But yeah, either way, nice. I guess it looks cool. Fuck it. Fuck it. But yeah, anybody wondering what the Micron pen is, that's what it is, right? Like, I want to give you guys all the tools you can, but also understand that the tools don't make a fucking difference. Your work ethic does, right? Which you're capable of. I want to say everything, like, this entire channel should just be a reflection of your capabilities and more, because I'm average to below average. And I had a fan, maybe he's a fan, I don't know. Username Sorchroma. Really nice, had great conversations with him. So I want to reiterate again. I've already started drawing, by the way. We're thinking now, and I'm gonna talk about some shit that A, I learned, but B right now, which I guess technically should be A, because I said B, but then I'm doing the A. I'm talking about A. Anyways, fucking the point is, Jesus Christ, my lines are so bad. But the point is, right? Actually, I'm not thinking yet, so let me actually take a pause. I just want to quickly address this, right? Do not look at what I am drawing as a reflection of where your efforts should be directed, right? Like right now I'm doing like a box, a sphere inside of it, center lines inside the, I'm literally visualizing a box, a sphere inside the box, center lines inside the sphere, inside the box, the horizontal, vertical, and diagonal cross sections on each individual plane. I'm trying to see through the form as well and see those cross sections on the other side of the box as well as in the sphere itself. That sounds like a lot, right? Because it is a lot. It's 30 plus calculations. Art is a cognitive endurance skill. Art is a taxing your working memory skill. Art is arresting your brain during your session. Like, this is all neuroscience, right? Like, you're taxing your prefrontal cortex using the energy source your brain uses, which is glycogen, right? Fucking astrocytic glycogen, right? You will experience output regression, which is when you are using your brain a fuck ton, but you are not producing anything, right? Because your output is shit. It's regressing. But that is where myelination, which is your myelin sheets, I believe it's the connection or something to do with the fucking neurons and the axons and the connections between your neurons. Right? It's basically getting stronger because, and when you attach good feelings to that exact feeling of just this is difficult, that's when you get better, right? So what am I saying? This is an extremely long-winded way of saying, right? Do not look at what I practice in the sense that like the complexity of what I'm practicing. Let the complexity of what you're practicing dictate how far you're pushing yourself. Because if you're just thinking, if you just started and line is your biggest concern, just line, right? And I say just because it's just the first step, but it's not just. I understand how difficult it is, right? I understand that it's pen pressure sensitivity, it's control, it's confidence, it's commitment, it's visualizing the scale of the line, the start and the end point, thinking about it while you're drawing it. Fucking difficult. I just mentioned 8 things, and your working memory can only hold 4 to 7 things at once. So again, working memory, the more you're thinking, the more you're actively thinking, the more you're actively drawing, right? Because you're building the thinking, right? But like before I just keep talking, because obviously nobody's really fucking here to actually watch, right? You're all here to draw art, hopefully, right? So you've already started drawing. So I just want to say that you will sequentially put more effort and get better at the things over hundreds and hundreds of hours, based on the fundamentals of the things that you're practicing. So like when you start with line, the line is taking up all your cognitive energy. Then over dozens and dozens and dozens of hours and hundreds of repetitions, lines will get better. Understanding of just simple, like a plane going to a horizon line, convergence of one plane and then, or one vanishing point, and then 2 vanishing points, and then 3 vanishing points, right? And then the horizon line will get larger. Your ability to visualize will get larger. Your complexity of the forms will get more particular, right? The intersections, the fucking manipulations, everything, blah, 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 right? But the point is, and that's over hundreds of hours, and for me personally, 1,000 plus hours, right? This is 1,000 plus hours of effort. This is the culmination of 1,000 plus hours of effort. Probably like 1,080 right now. But all I'm trying to say is, when I say focus on the effort, when I say about like really push yourself, I'm talking about what you're currently focusing on, because what you understand, you need to push yourself in. If you know that with your lines, you have like 5 things to focus on, do your best to try to focus on those 5 things for as long as it takes until it's like 30 to 40 to 50% to 60% better, right? And as you're doing that, because line is something you can always get better on, you know, then you're like, okay, horizon line. Okay, that's fucking hard. My horizon line is literally like 3 millimeters big, right? Expand, try to understand convergence, blah, blah, blah. But the point I'm making is it's sequential, it's progression. You should reflect and allocate and interpret the things I'm saying to your experiences. I guess that's what body doubling is, if I'm actually gonna not meme about it, is the fact that I'm working hard, you are working hard, right? Just because I'm working hard on something that you cannot conceptualize does not mean that you will not be able to conceptualize it, or that you won't go down a direction that is similar in terms of complexity. But it's just push yourself on what you're currently focusing on, right? Do not, when I say I'm just average to below average, I'm saying that anybody is capable of the effort to keep pushing themselves and to keep getting better over an extended time horizon of decades, okay? Not tomorrow, decades. It doesn't matter if it takes decades. Once you start thinking in decades, right? The answer is done. I'm gonna be great, or whatever your version of greatness is, in decades, right? Therefore, now is what matters. That was deep. Hashtag putting that on a Viggy famming t-shirt that I'm Viggying everywhere. I don't fucking know. Anyways, now I'm gonna start thinking. Now we're gonna actually start drawing. So one thing I learned, and holy shit, it already changes everything, is I literally just Googled, what does a sphere in a box look like? Because I'm like, this isn't making sense. And it fucking turns out, lo and behold, what a shock, by the way, right? What a fucking shock. But it turns out, lo and behold, that the sphere does not touch the edges of the planes of the box, right? It touches the middle of the intersection of the planes of the box, right? So that's gonna be a bit complicated to explain while I'm thinking, but all you need to know is you have the box, right? And I'm already thinking right now. I'm thinking about the box, I'm thinking about the sphere inside the box, and now I have a habit to unbuild, by the way. I have a habit to unbuild, and I have new calculations to create in my mind. But this is actually a bit easier, because now I can make the sphere as large as it always is, and the box as large as it always is, right? But now the sphere, and now I'm already like taxing my brain, but the sphere is actually smaller now, which makes sense, right? And I also learned that with the sphere in the Loomis head, like how it's positioned, right? I understand the ratios more. So there's one line, which is the forehead, right? The top of the forehead. There's another line which is the brow line, the eyebrow line, and then there's another line which is the bottom of the nose. That also helps a lot, but that's also another 3 things to calculate, right? So when I'm going to be drawing features on top of this box that I'm making, right, it's actually going to be even more difficult. So there's just a million fucking things to think about, and it's amazing. And right now my brain's really taxed because I can barely think about the box, by the way. I want to be very clear. I can barely think about the box. I can barely think about the sphere, but now I'm forced to. It's fucking amazing. I'm actually, because of now I understand how the sphere is located inside the box, this more than anything is gonna force my brain beyond all measures to always be calculating the cross sections at all times. Because before it was like, I just need to think about the center planes, right? The horizontal center plane, the vertical center plane. But now it's like, no. You need to think about everything, my friend. So now my schema is going to take even longer to get excellent at, and that's beautiful, right? That's actually beautiful because my schema is going to just be even more difficult to understand, but when I do understand it, it's going to be all the more worth it, right? So I'm really trying to expand and this is another habit I have to undo because I keep making the sphere this large, but now the sphere is not on the edge of the plane, right? It's not at the edge of the box. It's not. It's in the middle of every cross section. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I guess let me draw this here. So if this is my box, right? Let's just say this is my box. This is technically very similar to my actual reference itself, but let's say this is my box, right? And this is actually going to force me to get a better understanding of boxes in general. But let's just say this is my box. What I mean is, like, before I used to put the sphere at the edges of the corners of the box, but that's actually not how the sphere sits inside the box. And it makes sense because it looks like it's suffocating, right? Which is why I could not understand how the ellipses were lining up, right? I literally could not understand it. But this is actually what I need to visualize in order for me to understand how the sphere even sits inside the box, which is this. I need to see this, right? And I need to see through the planes as well, don't forget. But right here, this point, this middle point, and then on the other side, this middle point, right? That is where like the sphere is actually touching the edges of the box. And obviously like it's gonna touch the top plane no matter where we are, but it's more like this, I believe. Yeah, it's like, it's fucking, see, this is so hard for me to like think about, but it's actually even smaller. It's like this, I believe. Yeah, it's like touching the edges. That's what my box is like inside the sphere. That's literally what it's like. It's not that big. This was a mistake when I made it outward. This is what my box is like. Sorry, my sphere is like. This is what my sphere is like. Also, I want to say heads up. Anybody watching this in the future, right? If you're here and you fucking years down the line, right? And you ever hear me call a sphere a cylinder a sphere, just know that it's because my brain is so fucking taxed. I can't like, verbalizing is my brain's last priority when all my astrocytic glycogen energy, my brain's energy resources are going towards my prefrontal cortex, which is sheer spatial reasoning and then narrating, right? So, which I believe is my parietal lobe. Very, very difficult skill. So yeah, so that is it. Like this is actually the sphere inside the box, right? And so I have to like completely adjust my schema because before I was making the box encompass the sphere, right? But that's incorrect. So the box actually has to be even more accurate than ever, right? So let's just start and we will have to understand and adjust along the way, right? But already like I'm focusing now, I actually have to like really think about the cross sections, and it's fucking amazing. It's actually amazing what this is doing to my brain because like I really want to make sure that nobody else has to ever go through this mistake again. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to come upon this channel at whatever point, right? Fortunate in a very self-glazing sense, right? You're so fortunate that I understand, therefore you don't have to understand, except you still have to put the work in. You just have to put it in the place that is the correct way to put it in, right? And there's correct ways to put it in, which is always fundamentals, right? Practice fundamentals, understand space, apply. Practice fundamentals, understand space, apply. The only difference is that beginners don't understand how much of that to apply towards. You don't practice fundamentals for an hour and then apply for 3 hours. You practice fundamentals for 30 hours and you apply for 5 hours, right? There's a difference. There's a sheer difference, right? And you just observe the world around you. But anyways, and I'm also really trying to think about how the Loomis head fits inside all of this. So like this is fucking amazing. Like I'm telling you right now, my brain can't think about anything, but this is what's going to teach my mind what correct is. Like I'm retraining my brain. I want to be very clear. I'm retraining my brain right now. Like this is literally me retraining my brain to see the right box. And I'm constantly, and this is why I'm going to keep ghosting because I need to see the right box, right? I need to see the right box. And I need to obviously think about, because his ear line is like this, but obviously we know that the box encompasses it. And I guess like more of a, because it's a diagonal, right? It's like a curve. Like your head is like this, right? But the box is like this. So we have to account for that, you know? So we have to, basically what I'm saying is your head, the planes of your face is not a fucking box. Like, it's not square edges that align with the perspective of the box that you're trying to put it in. It is manipulated, usually angled in some manner, depending on how lean or not lean you are, right? Fucking fat ass, get to work. or bulimic. No, not bulimic. That's vomiting. Anorexic. Don't get to work, please. Actually, no. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, bro. This is just poorly executed edgelord humor, right? But anyways, yeah. Anyways, I hope that makes sense, and I hope it helps you to understand that I am literally going to be retraining my schema from now on, right? But it's all based on a much more correct understanding of the box itself and how the sphere resides in that box, right? Like how these things tilt, right? Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Right now I can barely think about the sphere, by the way, but the thing is, funny enough, now the sphere matters. It matters a lot, but it matters much less than me actually getting these cross sections down, because the sphere is actually based on these cross sections, right? So it's fucking amazing. And now I have to actually be able to see through the form too. That's another thing. So exactly everything that I was already working towards doing, just my understanding and a fucking simple Google search, which I clearly did not think about prior, because I was like, no, I'm sure I'm right. But this is the thing. This is why you want to avoid, and I'm trying to zoom out right now. This is why you want to avoid hubris to the, oh, but dude, I'm in so much output regression. And I haven't, dude, the form wrapping is going to fuck my brain, right? But this is why you should never, ever be prideful, ever. Right? You should be proud of what you've done, but not prideful on things you do not know, right? Like, I am proud of the fact that I have worked hard, right? I can say that. Oh, this is converging too much. I am proud of, and you can 100%, you have the right to say, I am proud of the fact that I have worked hard. Like, if you don't say that, then I would encourage you to say that, because you should be proud of the fact that this is obviously, like, the thing is, like, my sphere is going to be affected in my understanding purely on the basis that this is already an incorrect, like, it's converging too fast, right? This line and that line, they're not converging too fast, and these aren't exactly accurate. But again, like, this is good way for me to understand. You know, actually, like, because this is so difficult now, I may actually have to take a step back and not do the form wrapping. I may actually have to, this is another thing, like, this is what I mean by humility and, like, the pridefulness, is the fact that now that I understand how much more work this is gonna take, I need to actually take a step back and be even more humble, right? And just be like, no, my brain is already at full capacity trying to understand this thing. And that's the thing, right? It's like, this is like, how do you know how hard to try? When you're already at full capacity trying to understand the thing, right? That's the way I, and like, my working memory is extremely taxed right now, but that's the way I interpret it. It's like, my brain's already at full capacity trying to understand this thing, right? And this is great because I can still interleave this. I can still keep, now I have more opportunities to change the angle and keep testing the schema, right? And then over the next 50 to 60 to 70, 80 hours, once that's solidified, then the form wrapping will actually become a lot easier, right? So I may have actually gone about it in the wrong way, where I kept trying to understand the form wrapping if I couldn't even get the schema right. So yeah, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. But yeah, fucking nice artist moment, just as a heads up, right? Like, this is what humility looks like when it comes to learning, right? And that doesn't mean to say I'm some fucking Mahatma Gandhi. Like, look at me, I'm not gonna fucking, I actually don't have any example for that. But the point is, what I mean is, humility is being able to, in my opinion, being able to take a step back and understand where your shortcomings are. And in this context, being like, okay, well, what needs to be done to address that, right? And in my opinion, right, and by the way, while I'm looking at this, while I'm talking, I'm still trying to think about this sphere. And like, again, now it's amazing. Now I really have to see through the forms, right? I really have to see through the center lines. And you're gonna notice this is gonna create such a disparity, because there's a lot of micro-millimeter adjustments that are converging. Like, this is converging, this is diverging, these two are converging. This line maybe is not the best. This might be incorrect, right? Like, this might not even be a good-looking box, right? But it's fucking amazing. So I may actually take a step back. Like, this is what it looks like, is what I'm trying to say, is the form wrapping, holding that schema in my mind, can come later. Right now, we can just focus on purely understanding the sphere in the box and visualizing the cross section and getting all that down accurately, because that's what I'm constantly visualizing right now. And am I seeing it all? No, I'm losing it consistently. I'm literally losing it consistently. But now that I have an anchor point, the beautiful part is, even though I'm losing it consistently, the sphere is much more accurate, because I have an anchor point. Look at this. I know exactly where it is, because I've already done so much work in being able to visualize these diagonals and these cross sections, that I know that the edges of the sphere is here, and then I'm seeing through the form there, and I'm seeing through the form here again, roughly around here. So I know that the perfect circle is this. It is contained here, because that is objectively how a sphere is contained in a box. All I have to do is fucking Google. I just have to Google it. It's fucking kill me, bro. But anyways, let me rest my brain, right? This is the part of learning that's, oh, it's beautiful. This feels fucking amazing. Like, I'm actually so happy, but, you know, like, anyways, rest your brain. Oh my god. Okay, and again, like now this is, so let me say why this is a great thing, okay? Because I have now understood, and again, like while I'm talking, I'm constantly, like now I'm actively just focusing on seeing through the form at all times, while also being able to see the intersections for each form, right? Right, this, what do I mean by intersections? I mean this, like this diagonal, this vertical, this horizontal, cross sections, vertical, horizontal, diagonal cross sections for every single visible plane, and now every single invisible plane, right? Seeing through the form, we are building a geometric understanding. We are creating a 3D simulation in our minds of geometric volume and spatial reasoning, right? This intensive spatial reasoning practice is what creates this, and it's never the other way around. You do not get better at understanding form by drawing things from your mind, all right? Because the only thing drawing from your mind, and maybe there's more nuance to this, there probably is, but the point, like the overall blanket general statement is drawing from imagination informs you, right? Informs you of what you don't know, right? So this is what I don't know, which is what I don't understand about texture, what I don't understand about form, what I don't understand about composition, what I don't understand about design, what I don't understand about line weight, what I don't understand about value. I can keep fucking going. I don't understand 100 fucking things, minimum, okay? Because I barely understand it when I'm practicing. The difficult thing that lends weight to the other thing, right? The imagination drawing. But this understanding of form, and again, like that's why I have to ghost accurately as well. Ghosting is the bridge between your prefrontal cortex and your parietal lobe, or sorry, and your motor cortex. What does that mean? It's the fucking it is the bridge between your visual spatial sketchpad, I believe it's called, the visual, like vision, spatial, space, right? Sketchpad, I guess, is in terms of just like display, right? Like I don't know why the fuck it's called that, but the point is the part of your brain that basically it has the ability to spatially reason and to apply it to apply it in a visual manner, right? The ghosting is a bridge between that part of your brain, right, the prefrontal cortex, and the motor cortex, where you apply. And right now I'm building, and the thing is, like, I'm losing the cross sections, right? I'm losing a lot of the cross sections here because I'm really focusing on trying to see through the form. But this is the beautiful goal. Now I'm truly going to be spending for the next 50 to 100 hours building the ability and interleaving, constantly changing the angle, right? The ability to see through the box and have a perfect experience out of the box, and to see every single fucking, and you know what? I know I'm saying I'm barely seeing it, but I want to be honest right now. I don't know what it is because I took 2 days off, and I think my brain's finally starting to understand. So after 80 hours or like 50 hours of really doing this, I'll tell you this right now, it does not feel that hard to see through the form. It actually doesn't even feel that hard to calculate at all. But you know what is hard still? Seeing it all at once, because that's my goal. My goal is to see it all at fucking once. But even that doesn't feel that hard anymore. So it's working. Like, this is what I want to say. It's actually working. And I guarantee tomorrow or the day after or some point from now, it's going to be immensely difficult again. Why? Because I'll have changed the angle. My brain will constantly be updating the information, right? Like, it's just constantly like going to be being stress tested, right? So this is great. This is fucking great. But anyways, let me, it's time to stop. It's time to stop. But yeah, it's time to stop and think about the actual Loomis, right? Because okay, so let me actually, you know what? It's actually really best to, it's best to draw the sphere now. And this is going to be wrong. Like I'm gonna guarantee right now that it's going to be wrong, but this being wrong, and you see my lines like in this angle, they really struggle. But because it's wrong and because I'm constantly trying to calculate, you're gonna notice that it's still not as bad as it was before. And you see like that curve is incorrect. See, that's wrong. Okay, see, I fucked that up. Because this curve should have been way more like this. And even that's wrong. So you can see that I placed this sphere incorrectly, right? You can see that, right? Because here it is. Here is where it's literally the corner, the edge is meeting right here, right? This is where it's meeting. And let me just draw through the form. Oh, see, like I fucked up. That's like converging way too fast. So you see, like that's what I see when I draw it. When I do these things fast, this is where it highlights my mistake. And you can see that's off center, or like that's not aligned properly, right? Like this is all misaligned to shit, right? But I'm constantly trying to see through the form, right? And same thing, like this is where roughly. And like while I'm drawing this, by the way, not only am I creating obstructions, I'm still trying to visualize everything, right? So yeah, like I guess that's all I have to say. I'm just trying to visualize everything. Fuck me. What else can I say? I'm trying to visualize the box. I'm trying to visualize the sphere. I'm trying to visualize the center lines more than ever, right? I'm constantly trying to hold this schema in my mind, constantly construct it as well as I can. So like this is all accurate. So the question is, this does look like a pretty perfect sphere. So why, oh why, is it not centered here, right? Why is this off center, right? Because this is what here, like this is the cross section here, right? Whee! So why is it not centered? Or is it centered, right? Is it centered? Because this is the top, this is the bottom, and then it curves back around. That could be it, right? Because this right here, this is also the cross axis. Because, and by the way, I haven't been able to think about the ellipses at all. Isn't that amazing? I haven't been able to think about the ellipses at all, but this is actually pretty accurate. That actually makes sense. So of course, the bottom of this ellipse, like this is me discovering it right now, by the way. Like this is, what you're seeing is me re-understanding and rediscovering the beauty of this schema, right? But it makes sense that this roughly would translate down here, because this, if you just project it right over, right, this is that center plane, right? And this is the curve, the ellipse. Whee! Ta-da! Right? Fucking, it's still not a great curve. I need to really work on that, but that makes so much sense. Holy shit, dude, my mind is like, I'm orgasming, right? I'm like, this is a fucking mental nut to the extreme. This is fucking amazing, right? But yeah, holy shit, there you go. And I haven't been able to think about the ellipses at all. Like same thing here, right? This is this ellipse, so we just need to think about the center plane and bring it over. Now, where the fuck is this guy getting this from, right? Because again, I still struggle with ellipses in planes, but it's roughly like this, right? Whee! And then you just project it outward in the center, right? And the center is roughly here, I believe, because it's inside of it. Center is like roughly here. That is actually also really difficult to figure out. I haven't even drawn the fucking face on this, bro. I may have to use a different color to draw the face. And I'll use the gray. Oh, there you go. I'll use the gray pen, because this is all about the schema. Oh my god, I love this. I fucking love this, dude. Okay, so it's great. Yeah, we're stopping the form wrapping. We're just purely understanding space. This is purely about understanding space, right? And I can't even think about this ellipse right now. It's this way, and then there's. So what is this? This is length, width, and depth. There you go. Because I keep saying X, Y, Z. I'm sure that might be confusing. So yeah, length, width, and girth actually. But like, what is this, right? This is just. Bring this. What the fuck am I doing, bro? It's, see this center plane, right? Just being projected down, right? And we're seeing through it, and then we're just like, okay, see, so my curve was wrong too. But it's like, wee. So isn't that amazing? Because where's my center line? My center line is roughly right around there, right? I know I fucked up the middle part, but there you go. This is actually what I'm trying to envision at all times, by the way, right? And this way as well. So we have to think again, like, what is the diagonal here? And it's roughly something like this, right? Because again, this ellipse is something like this, and we're just projecting it downwards and then being like, yeah, you got to make sure you say the we sound, or you're basically a fucking loser and you don't know what you're doing. But whew, there you go, that is the correct schema. Oh my god, oh my fucking god. It still has a lot of minor issues, but this is the correct model. This is how a sphere fits inside a box. Fucking amazing. And you see how all my other prior work was not wasted? Because I built the ability to visualize a box in 3D space, and to visualize and to calculate the center planes in 3D space. So the issue was not the fact that I put this, my model was wrong. The issue was the fact that I didn't understand the relationship between the object inside the box, which is the sphere, and how it actually relates dimensionally, right, and volumetrically, right, within the space that it resides. And I knew it was all math, I knew it was all calculations. I just couldn't understand how that made fucking sense with what I was doing, where I was trying to make it fit the edge. Because it doesn't fit the edge. It fits the center, right? It's the center. It's the fucking, the back is centered. Like the top of the sphere is centered to the back plane, right? That you have to see through the form, right? The side of this is also centered to the side plane where you see through the form. It's basically all aligned with the side you don't see, the center of the side you don't see. This is the side we don't see, this is the side we don't see, right? And then on the other side, again, like that's the center down here. It'll be like right down here. Oh, fucking, let me just stop using my finger. It's like right down here somewhere, right? Yeah, it's like this, right? I mean, I made this larger than this one, so that's already incorrect, but like I say, it's right down there. Right, and then again, you know, this is the center part of this, See, like this is, it's all fucking just center planes and all that shit. This center plane is obviously projected outward for this one, so it's also like the center of this. So, like, there's a bunch of shit, but that I don't need to go that deep right now. But all I need to know is that this is how it sits, right? And this is lower because it we understand the like the bottom of the sphere, right, or the top of the sphere depending on the angle, and the let's see, the width. And we also get to, like, sorry, what I'm trying to say is, like, and this isn't just me trying to explain it to myself while I'm trying to visualize all of this, so it's gonna be a bit fucky and stuttery and whatever, obviously, what else do you expect from me? Inability to explain anything, right? But we also know how the sphere sits and the width of it and everything because it is aligned with the edges of the ellipse of each plane of the box, right? Like this projected outwards in perspective, aligned, right? This one projected outwards, the side plane, aligned, same shit, right? And then the top one, right? Bring it down again, we see that it's aligned right here, right? This ellipse, you bring it down, it's like, okay, it's aligned there, and it all meets each other. And again, like that is also in congruence with the center line, right? Like the center point here that it has to meet. So, it's all relational. It's beautiful. I'm nodding. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain, and I'm gonna draw the features on top of this. This is fucking amazing. Half an hour, dude. This is amazing. This is actually amazing. I'm gonna draw the features on this, and then we're gonna do another angle, right? And this is amazing because I get to interleave twice. I get to change the angle and test my schema twice. It's amazing. Anyways, please rest your brain. This is so good, bro. There's another thing, which is the fact that the Loomis head actually slices off the edge of the sphere, right? It actually slices the edge of the sphere. So if this is the normal sphere, right? So this is another thing I have to think about. If this is the normal sphere, the Loomis sphere, and let's say this is the perspective, right? Which is this box, right? So, and I actually get that this is the center. Oh, I get it now. I'm a fucking genius. I love this. I'm a god. But yeah, see, like now I get how the box is actually roughly placed inside of it. But what the Loomis head does, fucking jerking me off aside, right, is that Loomis slices this edge off. He slices this off. And he slices this edge off too. So you have to understand that it's actually something like this. And I'm gonna get this wrong because I haven't practiced this. I want to be very clear, right? But it's something like this, right? And like he like slices it off. That's pretty fucking wrong, actually. I didn't get the sphere right. But the point is, like, it's basically something like this, right? And then this is still the perspective, right? And then from here is where he gets, and this, like, so, and it just comes out of, this is the top of the forehead, this is the brow line, and this is the fucking, the bottom of the nose, right? And then he, what does he do? He, I think he has like a plane that's jutting outward, like this. It's like a box, right? Something like that. And then it comes up, it's like this. And this is flat, right? This is flat. This is flat as well, I believe, right? And you'll see, like, in my fucking part 1 to 3 of the series, right? Basically, if you see sequentially in all my playlists, you see, like, I did the portraits for a little bit, and then, like, I was just, like, fucking trying to do a bunch of things at once, and then I stuck to the fundamentals, and then I went to, like, multiple rounding obsession in the fundamentals roadmap for artwod, right? And then I did their cute bots workout because I was obsessed with mech, and then I went to the portrait. So, like, there's a bunch of shit. But the point is, like, this is what I was having a lot of trouble understanding, which is the fact that this is just flat. Like, this is just flat. And this is also flat, right? But this is curved. And now we understand why. At least, like, you, if you're listening to this or seeing this, you're gonna understand conceptually. If you don't understand conceptually, then you already, like, this is not something you need to be focusing on. You need to go to the simpler version, which is just the box, or just the sphere, right? Not this fuckery of, like, trying to see everything all at once, right? But if you can conceptualize this, that only means you can conceptualize it. Do it. And then realize you need 150, 300, 400 more hours till you can get to maybe this point, most definitely further than this point. It's gonna take me at least 300 hours to be able to do this and see the face. Because the goal is, like, you see this is what I have here, right? Like, just this top part is what I have here, right? But this is why, actually, like, it's a good thing the sphere is a lot smaller than I realized, because that means my faces are gonna be a pretty good size. Like, being able to draw a face at this size roughly, right? Because this is like another third. I think this is 1, 2, and another third. Like being able to draw a face at this size is good for me. It's good because like this is a good size to really spatially reason at, right? And that means like in general the faces I draw will be a lot smaller, so it doesn't need to be any bigger than this. Of course, until I start doing manga panels, then there'll be fucking times where the face will be the entire page. But that's a whole different level of skill and mastery, and that'll take another couple decades. It'll be decades to get to that point as well, like over my journey. But now let's draw the face. Now let's actually try to figure out what the face is like. So on the sphere itself, and you know, like these are all obstructions by the way, so I have to fucking figure this shit out. To really figure this shit out. But on the face itself, right, we have, like on the sphere, not even in the face, but on the sphere itself, there's the forehead, right, the brow line, and this is actually in the wrong angle, but there's a brow line, which is roughly around here, I believe. Oh no, sorry, the forehead line, right? So forehead, brow, and then nose. So I think it's something like, yeah, like forehead's like right here. They're equal thirds. They're supposed to be equal thirds. Brow's like right here, right? And then bottom of nose is like right here. And I guess that makes sense. And the thing is, like, this could be very wrong. I want to be very clear. This could be very wrong. This is just mainly me trying to recall what I saw from the example of the Loomis picture that I was looking up because now I understand how the sphere fits. I'm like, okay, I really need to understand how the sphere in conjunction with the bottom tapered box that is the jaw, like, is aligned. Like, what are the ratios? What are the thirds, right? And this is just what I remember. So this is me trying to apply recall, by the way, right? Like, this is me trying to apply recall, but am I doing it correctly? No, it doesn't fucking matter because this is just me trying to apply recall. And then this is the bottom of the nose. So what do we have here? So let me actually not use the gray pen because that was, I guess I'll just use that to highlight thirds. And again, while I'm trying to visualize all of this, I have to not think about, well, the thing is, like, I did this just now just to understand, but when I do the next repetition, I'll definitely be trying to think about all of this while applying, because then it will actually clear up a lot of clutter on the page itself, right? But let me think. This is the nose. This is the bottom of the nose, right? So we got something like this. And I already got that wrong, but it's okay, right? This is the other side of the nose. And it's okay, like, this is all wrong right now. Like, it's completely wrong. Like, my fucking understanding, as you can see now from the other drawing, the sketchbook drawing I showed you, that my proportions are all shit. But this is just so I get an understanding of where my features are, right? Like where my features are and all of this. And it's going to be very difficult because I have to see all of this and then also see proportions and ratios inside inside the actual sphere itself, right? But this is amazing. Like, I think maybe, hopefully you can already even see that I'm understanding a little bit more, right? Like, maybe it's starting to look a bit more accurate. Maybe. Who fucking knows? But anyways, like, I'm just trying to really see through all the obstructions right now, genuinely, right? All that shit that people say. And this is actually, like, I'm so happy. I'm really, like, struggling to think right now because these are all obstructions. Again, like, these are all things that are getting in the way, but I'm really trying to think about how these features fit inside, right? And now we need to cut this part of the head out, right? Because there's also the ear. The ear is apparently right here. Like, the ear is the bottom of this. Like, let's say, like, this is the cutout of the side of the sphere, right? The ear is, like, right here. That's in perspective, obviously, and it's, like, slightly diagonal. It's basically a box. It's, like, slightly diagonal. And that's not me, like, and do not take that for my word. Like, go to fucking artwod, because their portrait roadmap actually breaks it down to the simple shapes, the angles, and then the manipulated shapes. But this is, like, let's see, and then after, okay, so this is great because now I actually have an opportunity to think, which is where the fuck is the side? And then I need to, okay, so, like, let's say the cutout is here, right? Like, this is the cutout of the box, right? Like, this is the cutout. You know, we have this center line, and I know this is, like, super fucked now. I get it, like, this is super fucked. But, and then we have, see, I don't even know where I did that, but then we have the Loomis, right? The Loomis, and it's coming down, it's a third. So there's 1, 2, 3, so it should be right around here, right? And it should be following the angle of this plane. So I have to think about, like, what does that look like, right? What does that look like? Something like this, maybe. And then I actually don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about Loomis too much just yet, right? Fuck it. And then the lips are, like, right around here somewhere. You know, this is actually like, okay, so the big mistake is like, just don't think about Loomis yet. Just understand and just place the features where you can, because this is already a lot to calculate. And if I start thinking about, because the goal for me, again, the goal for me is to be able to see this and visualize this in every single angle in my mind. The box, all these fucking center lines, seeing through the forms, the center lines behind, how the sphere sits geometrically inside of that, and understanding the ratios, and then seeing that in every single fucking perspective in my mind as possible at this scale, and then putting features over it, which is its own calculations, which is the simple forms and then the manipulated forms and the ratios and the jaw and everything. But right now, I think the main thing should just be to get this down. So I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're gonna do another angle. This is, dude, I'm so fucking happy. I'm actually so fucking happy. The fact that I actually get it now, like I actually get it. Oh my god, I'm all better than all of you motherfuckers. Anyways, let me rest my brain. But I hope this goes to show that you can always understand form better, right? And I really just want to keep stressing that this spatial, like, I really hope it makes sense that this spatial reasoning is something anybody can achieve. Like, come on, like, I just look at my year 1 to 2 playlist, right? Please look at my year 1 to 2 playlist, right? The first video is literally the first video on my channel, like the first video in that playlist, which basically just goes through all the imagination drawings I did, and all the reference drawings I did, sorry, right? Like throughout my entire life, up until, basically, yeah, like the end of like the second year, right? Or near the end of the second year. Because I really didn't do much. And then the second video is all the actual work I did, right? So the first video is all the reference work I did. That was like the fucking 5% of my practice, right? Like, if you can even call it that. It was just, yeah, it was just a fucking stress test, right? Just a stress test of what I actually knew, right? And then, I don't know why I'm sniffling so much. I'm not even sick, and then, I'm just looking at the reference right now because I'm thinking, by the way, like again, I'm drawing is thinking, right? So I'm thinking, now I know actually where the bottom of the box is too. This is beautiful. I actually know where the bottom of the box is because just by looking at the Loomis, I'm like, oh, it's at the bottom of this person's nose, right? Like, so this woman's nose, this reference that I'm looking at, I know that I actually can, dude, it's like all I had to do was a Google search. I just had to Google sphere inside box, right? What does it actually look like? And then I had to Google Loomis head with sphere. That's all I had to do, man. I'm a fucking retard. Please learn from my lessons. Like, I hope this just helps you to not be me, right? Like, genuinely, I hope this just helps you not be me, right? Couldn't be me. Please don't be me. But now I know, and this is like the box that we're going to envision, right? And this is amazing. And look, you see, look at that bad habit. I made the box this big immediately. My ghosting habit, my ghosting muscle memory, right? Which is all the intentional effort I put towards ghosting this, is wrong. So what I need to do is, again, see the angle, right? And I'm still trying to get the right angle down of the box, right? Oh, I was just saying, like, yeah, just look at my, literally just look at my year 1 to 2 playlist. Year 1, all the reference drawings I did alongside my practice and before my practice, so before I started actually legitimately practicing, right? Which is only like, I only maybe did a total of 20 drawings in my entire life before I started learning to draw at 25, by the way. At 25, I'm 28. I'm gonna be 29 in half a year, like 4 months, right? So it is never too fucking late, because once you understand how to learn, which is effort, micro gap effects, once you're done your session, okay, go to fucking like sleep for 15 minutes, right? But just sheer direction correct effort on the fundamentals. This is for everything. Do 10 times the work. Do 100 times the work you think it requires to understand the thing, because that's actually how much work it takes, okay? So if you think you understand perspective, you fucking don't, okay? If I think I understand perspective, I fucking don't, all right? Because perspective and form is like, you can, and line quality, composition, like fundamentals, like all that shit, but everything is on the 3D plane, or the 3D space. If you're polishing a pile of shit, it's still a pile of shit, okay? So, and I hope this calls you out, right? But not in a mean way, but in just like a fucking lower your ego. You know, like, be humble, right? And I'm sure you can point to a million things I'm doing wrong, and I'll be like, yes. So I will do my best to work on those. Thank you for the information, right? Appreciate when people are trying to help you, you know? But I'm not gonna take advice from every single fucking one of you. I'll take advice from people who I see to be objectively better than me. And by the way, while I'm talking, I'm drawing, right? Like, again, like, I every now and then I always, if anybody knows Zeph Draws, like he always posts Instagram posts or stories where like you can see the work he's doing, right? And I'm always so inspired by that. So I just commented like, that's fucking amazing. That's what I did yesterday. And he replied like, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate, bro. What the fuck? He'd not say it like that. He wasn't retarded. He was like, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. That's all it is. Because what I said was, you're just proof that it's just work ethic. And he's like, yeah. So it's just work ethic, and every single one of you can build work ethic. 100%, right? And don't think about the best version of your work ethic. Think about your current version and what you can do to slightly improve it, all right? If you're fucking jerking off mentally over like, oh yeah, I'm gonna improve my work ethic, but you're thinking about the version of you that's perfect, that version doesn't exist. That version for me doesn't exist. The only version that exists is that we keep trying to get better and understanding how we can get better, and we get better at trying to get better, right? Bitter, batter, butter. I'm pretty sure there was like a tongue twister like that. But yeah, and every single one of you is capable of excellence. Every single fucking one of you, literally without a doubt, every single one of you. But I'm just trying to think about the perspective. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the perspective of this woman's face, because it is fucking with me a little bit, which is good, because again, like that means I have to think, right? And again, like while I'm thinking about the box, I'm trying to think about the correct sphere now, right? Trying to think about the correct sphere, which is beautiful, because my mind wants to immediately like make the edge of the sphere to the edge of the plane, but it's like, nope. No, my friend, rebuild the schema. And this is good. It's actually an amazing thing I caught this now, because if I caught it later, it would have been more difficult. Would it still have been worthwhile to put all the sheer effort towards changing and my understanding and my mental model? Absolutely. But yeah, I'm fortunate that I caught it now, because I had the two brain cells to be like, maybe I should Google what a sphere actually looks like inside of it. After 80 hours of effort, maybe I should actually try to see what it looks like, right? And it's like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, bro. It looks like this. Like, oh, thank you. By the way, you know how I said I could see it here? I can't see it here anymore. I can barely see the box. I can barely fucking see the box. Like, and by see, I mean see on the page, calculate in my mind, right? Like, it's essentially, the word is not impossible, but it's not happening, right? The possibility is not occurring currently, always say currently, right? That's another thing I want to really instill upon every single one of you, is its current level of ability, right? And desired level of ability. And the desired level of ability, the desired level of ability is simply your standard. It is not an expectation. The expectation is to simply work hard to meet your standards, and to also understand that your standards will just get better. They'll just absolutely get better, and that's a good thing, right? Like, so no matter what, it's the chase, right? And it's not like this depressing, like, oh, I'm always chasing. It's like, no, you find value in the effort, right? That's why I keep talking about the fucking effort, because it's just about finding value in the effort. In the effort. Say it one more time with me. In the effort. Why are you saying it like that? I don't know. Ohana's family, right? Same shit. So I think I got this woman's angle wrong. Actually, completely got it wrong. No, I didn't. It's slightly off. It's like this. It's hard to tell you. I mean, like, again, hopefully me, even if you can't see the fucking portrait that I'm doing because I'm too lazy to edit, hopefully me constantly explaining to you that, like, hey, I'm just doing it wrong. Just doing it wrong. Doing your mom. Good old Ray William Johnson. But yeah, like, it's just, I struggle with a million things. And right now, I cannot see the other side of the box. I actually don't know how to reason this box at all. And it's because it's just too narrow, right? So again, like, dude, I love this. Like, I'm constantly struggling, right? I'm trying to see the entire form right now. I'm trying to really see the entire form. I want to be very clear. I'm trying to see the entire form and calculate, right, where the sphere sits. And right now you can see, again, my hand is going all the way at the edge here, but that's likely where the bottom of the fucking plane is, which is incorrect because it should be in the middle of the plane. So that's why it comes down to calculating every fucking visible plane, the cross-axis, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, and then every, and I can't even think about the ellipses right now. I literally can't even think about the ellipses. And then every single, because I have to think about, right now, all I can really think about and focus on, and this is going to be my next 100 to 200 hours, right? I think this portrait series will easily go to 500 to 600 hours, and hopefully it'll just prove that it was all sequential, and I was just building my understanding of geometric volume, which is what the space resides on for these forms, and I was not learning how to copy, because copying doesn't mean anything. Understanding is everything, right? It's like, so as long as you're trying to understand, right, that's all that matters. And by the way, you can copy, but if you're trying to understand something of what you're copying, the line weight, the composition, the fucking use of shapes, blah, 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 100 million things, then yeah, you're understanding. But if you're not thinking, you're not drawing. I want to be very clear. If you are not thinking to the best of your ability, right, and to the best of your ability is a very specific sentence I want to use, because right now, I could say that I'm not thinking to the best of my ability, right, if I were to like just compare based on like how good I should expect myself to be thinking. But the reality is, how good I'm thinking is just how good I'm capable of thinking currently. It's as simple as that. Maybe that's a bit confusing, but all I'm really trying to say is, and I got this perspective completely wrong. Yeah, I think it's way too much of a, yeah, like I got this perspective completely wrong. I just basically flipped this, so you can see that as a mistake as well. But, let's see. And we see a lot more of the side of the face too. So, Okay, yeah, and the angle is like a bit too much. I should have made it more here. That actually would have been a lot more accurate, yeah. So it should have been this. Or more akin to that, right? What was I saying? Something about fucking trying. But yeah, like every session I can think I can do more. Right now, like I could have easily been like, oh, I should see the entire thing. I should see the entire thing, but I can't see the entire thing because that's just what I'm not capable of right now. But I'm capable of is constantly trying to remind myself as I'm doing it to see the entire thing, right? And that I'm capable of because right now I'm really trying to see this calculation, right? This edge of the box, this edge of the box. I'm really trying to see this. And my mind, by the way, like you might be thinking he sees it perfectly, but he's just like, it's just not happening as often as he wants it to. It's like, no, I see the fucking edge of this box like going that way, by the way. I see this closing this way, right? And it's also about finding that disparity, be like, bruh, shut the fuck up, do it. You gotta do it properly. Why do you think I'm always ghosting? I need to slow down. Why do you think I'm always ghosting? And now that I'm here, you think I can see the bottom of this box? No fucking way. I'm aware that it exists, right? But now that I'm thinking about that, like I'm trying to focus and zoom out on that. You think I can see the cross sections? No. Do you think I can now see the sphere? What is this called? Output regression. I'm trying really hard, but am I succeeding? No. So what is the success? Trying really hard, right? And that's all there is to it. And when I say that's all there is to it, I literally just mean like there's nothing else to it, right? I want to keep reminding every single one of you, the easy path does not exist because then everybody would have it. And if everybody had it, nobody would give a fuck about it at all. Like there's zero fucks to give. Do you give a shit about the guy who can tie a shoelace? No, right? Because everybody found out about knots and he's like, amazing. Oh my God, we can tie knots, right? I'm just stealing Alex Hormozy's example, but makes sense, right? Oh, well, we figured out perspective, right? Does everybody think it's amazing? Yes. Why? Because not everybody can do perspective, right? So it's directly correlated, right? Directly correlated to the amount of effort it takes to achieve the thing, right? Think about anything you did that somebody may have been like, oh damn, that's pretty impressive. Or like, oh wow, that's pretty hard. Were you like, haha, like, oh amazing, like he said it was hard? Actually, no, this is a horrible example. I cannot think. My examples are going to shit. I'm literally like speaking garbage. So let me try this again, right? If you've accomplished anything that is a decent skill, right? Not talent, skill. By the way, this box is wrong now. I see that. Look, this is a fucking ass box, right? And again, I fucked up the perspective completely because her face is foreshortened, right? So this is amazing. Again, my schema is wrong, my mental model is wrong, right? And this makes sense because I've been constantly putting in effort to try to see for who knows, like the past hour, right? Almost. So this should have been wider. But the thing is, like in the reference itself, yeah, like in the reference itself, this is just completely wrong. Like I got the entire side plane completely wrong. It's much larger, right? There's so much incorrect about this. It's amazing, right? But I still have to try. So, but I guess like to finish my example, because Jesus Christ, I cannot think right now, is anything you've achieved, if somebody found it impressive due to how hard it was, I'm assuming you felt like, yes, I worked hard, that's great, right? If somebody said, that's easy, I could do that too, I'm assuming if that experience were to happen to you, you'd be like, the fuck, this person has no idea of the work it takes, right? And if you have a good mindset, if you saw someone better than you, you'd understand that they also worked hard, perhaps harder, perhaps smarter, perhaps more directionally correct than you, and that you are capable of changing course to match that, adjusting course to match that, or continue on the course, continue on the course to hit that eventually, right? And by the way, while I was doing this, like I could not see the right box, I couldn't see through the form, I couldn't see the calculations, I couldn't see the sphere, anything. Just because I saw it here in the beginning, because my brain, like I started and I put the effort in, my brain was fresh, doesn't mean that it'll continue that way. Because why? Because it's still extremely difficult. Easier to conceptualize now that I have the math right, but still very difficult to do, right? And now I'm trying to see through the form, but now I'm seeing through an incorrect form. So what I have to do is I'm gonna rest my brain, I'm gonna try to make this the right box before I continue. Or at least, it's the wrong angle already, but the right box in this angle, right? So yeah, let me rest my brain, I encourage you to do so as well. Okay, so I just thought of the biggest advice I can give to anybody trying to learn anything, okay? And this is the biggest advice I can give you, okay? And it has like a few components, right? And I'm gonna give this advice, so I'm gonna tell you this right now. And what I'm doing right now is gonna be reflective of the advice that I give, right? But first of all, just to set the precedent, I'm gonna be thinking as much as I can extensively while I'm giving this advice. So I'm gonna be talking about something completely different while trying to fix the perspective of the thing that I've drawn, right? So that's number one, is like you need to understand that my brain is operating on two different wavelengths, right? Both of which are extremely difficult to conceptualize and to apply, right? Which is explanation, especially explanation of something completely irrelevant to what I'm doing, and taxing my prefrontal cortex to the extreme, right? So just to set that precedent that like, oh, he's doing something very difficult, and it is difficult, right? Not to showcase that I'm impressive for doing difficult things, but to showcase that it is difficult, and that is what you need to know. Just the fact that it's difficult, right? But we are capable of doing it, clearly. So I think I fixed the box a little bit here, right? Might have made it a bit too wide. But the absolute biggest advice I can give you, and also like, and I'm gonna keep interrupting myself because and again, because my speech is gonna get slurred. I'm thinking a lot right now, right? But the biggest advice I can give you, right? And I'm trying to figure this out too. I need to shut the fuck up. This is not like, I think the depth of this box isn't correct in general, right? So like, again, I'm gonna keep looking at how boxes are in different perspectives too. But the biggest advice I can give you, right? Let's say that sentence one more time, because obviously people are not tired of hearing it at all, right? But the biggest advice I can give you is you must treat your skill acquisition. That is the first word you need to understand. You are not building a talent. You are not building some fucking magical ability. You are acquiring hundreds of skills. You are building big skills and recognizing that within them, that these skills are behaviors and drawing is thinking, and within these skills exist dozens of skills. Line, main thing, draw a nice line at many angles, big skill, right? Multiple skills inside of it. Make sure you can visualize the line at this scale, right? And at this consistency, and at this pen pressure consistency, and at this confidence when applying, and visualizing while applying, right? And constantly keep increasing the scale, the direction, the line weight, whatever the fuck, right? Of this line, clean line in many directions, right? Big skill broken down into dozens of behaviors that tax your working memory because drawing is thinking, right? So yeah, with that being said, you must treat this skill acquisition as a deconstruction of your brain. We are witnesses to our effort, okay? You must treat it as an objective witness to the effort. And in order to achieve, all right, if achievement is the goal, but really the effort is the goal, but like achievement is just, the goal itself is just what allows us to create that evaluation, right? So you must treat the skill acquisition as a deconstruction of your brain in real time while you are in the process of, by the way, of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours to achieve, if achievement is the goal, the standard you have set for yourself, right? And the standards are an evaluation to judge the effort and the fucking see, my brain's just dead because I've just been doing a fuck ton of calculations. Holy shit, my brain just died there. That's all, folks, right? But you must treat your brain as what the fuck did I even call it? I don't know what I called it anymore, right? But you just be a fucking witness to your efforts. You must treat your goddamn brain like a simulation, like you're an observer, like you're a scientist. Okay, treat your brain like a scientist. That's the best thing I can tell you. Like, treat your brain like someone who's like, if I did X, what does that result in? Oh, X resulted in Y. But why did Y result in Y? Because Z decided to butt fuck Y up the ass, right? Interesting. Now, how do I remove that butt fucking and turn it into an ass fucking? Is there a difference? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Now, you see, that is true science. It's just, okay, no, but seriously, like, you just treat your fucking brain as, be an observer to your skill acquisition and be objective. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Throw your fucking emotions out the window because they're useless, all right? They're not useless when you're applying, right? This is when you're like, la 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 la, I'm still thinking about shapes, composition, all this shit that I don't understand, right? That's where your thinking is going. But your fundamentals, like whatever fundamentals you're on, right? Like you can allow yourself to not think about them as much, right? Because you put in sheer hours of intuition, but you can try to be like, how can I make this express more, right? And for me, I'm a bit more analytical. So it's just like, okay, how do I like make the ratios make sense, right? But even then, like this turned into some sort of like battle, creativity. It's like, it didn't start off that way. It started off with just this dickhead staring this way, right? So the actual work is not subjective, it is objective, okay? The actual work is not subjective. And again, I'm thinking about this, what the fuck, this diagonal cross-axis, I'm thinking about this diagonal cross-axis. Am I succeeding? No, I'm trying to think about this form being seen together, seen through together, right? See through the form. But am I succeeding? No, right? Right? And now, on top of thinking about all of that, I have to think about where the eye line is. Right, this is the forehead line, I believe, right? Actually, no, like her forehead's actually here. So I really don't understand, but like it's right here somewhere, right? And I'm going to use the gray pen because right now we're gonna be crutching a little bit. And crutch is not a bad word, by the way. It's just simply a placeholder to improve your ability, right? To improve your understanding until you do understand. So like I think roughly it's like this, and then her eyebrow line is like this, because this is where foreshortening occurs as well, right? And then her nose, her giant fucking schnoz is like right here. It's actually very normal. My nose is fucking a lot bigger, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think that's what it is, right? Okay. And again, like while I'm looking at this, I'm really trying to calculate everything. Like I'm genuinely really trying to calculate this cross axis in the back and the center and this, and that's why it looks a lot more believable. But even then, there's something about the depth of this box that's incorrect. So I need to keep just looking at boxes in perspective. Apart from spheres in perspective, I need to keep looking at boxes in different perspectives. I wish ice training had a box thing. They don't have a box one. They just have planes and spheres and ellipses, but they don't have a fucking box. It's so weird. Right, eyes.training is just the website I've been using recently to like really understand, right, where all of this sits in perspective. But see, like this is the bottom of the nose, and this is, but it's the bottom of the nose. Okay, it's the bottom of the nose, but in position. So like this is actually the bottom, and then this is the depth, right? So we need to do something like that. There you go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, right? And obviously I fucked up the nostrils, because that looks disgusting, bro. That was supposed to be the outside of the nose too, but I fucked that up. Jesus Christ. But I know I completely, I'm very well aware. I'm very well aware that I lost my train of thought. I want to be clear. Like I know that I did. Also, I put the nose way too high up. The nose should have ended right there, right? So again, like, and this is me trying to think about a million things, by the way, at once, right? My working memory is absolutely taxed. Right, like my brain is very warm. So this is actually like right here, when my brain's really warm, this is where I need to take a step back and rest my brain. And I encourage you to do that as well. Oh, it's amazing, bro. I'm actually so happy now that like I understand. Like I actually understand. 100 hours, by the way, 100 hours of misunderstanding to get to this one point where I'm like, I have a little bit of breathing room. Not in the sense that I'm gonna stop fucking putting in a shit ton of effort, but it's like, no. I have breathing room in the sense that I actually know a little bit more of the direction I need to go into, which is amazing. But yeah, what I was saying is you must treat, and this angle is completely incorrect. Holy shit, like this is actually completely incorrect angle. It's hilarious how much I fucked it up. Like I'm telling you, we're supposed to be seeing this, like her face is like foreshortened, right? Like we're seeing the side of her face. It's more like this. Yeah, I actually did get the angle wrong. You see how I can't tell? It's like this. I think this is the box. It's like this. Yeah, this is literally the box. Because her face, her eyes are like this. It's like, yeah, this is literally, look how fucking different that is. This is a fucking box. Her nose like that. I'm already like, the proportions are not accurate inside the box. I want to be very clear. Right, but then her lips is like this, right? Like that's her lips, that's her jaw, right? This is the fucking goddamn, the angle. I completely fucked it up, right? But you see, that's a huge difference. And this is maybe even slightly off too, but that's much more accurate than whatever the fuck I did here, right? But either way, and then we got the lips, right? I actually don't understand the lip. And the thing is, like, it's funny because I'm constantly thinking about the geometry of the forms to the best of my ability, but at the same time, absolutely, my brain is just, because the thing is, like, think about it. I have to think about this entire thing, right? I have to think about that entire thing, and then we have to, the goal is like the next step is the Loomis head, and thinking about the Loomis head as an additional shape that's attached to the sphere, right? It's a manipulated box, right? I don't even know what it looks like properly yet, but it's a manipulated box. And the only reason I'm able to draw this woman's lips in this angle in the correct, like in a pretty believable perspective is because I understand form, by the way. Does it look good? No, I want to say like it doesn't really look that good, but it looks believable, right? And then her chin is roughly around here. And that makes sense because if I cut this off and I go diagonal, right? It's, actually, I don't even know anymore. Fucking, I'm not even going to try to think about that. That manipulated shape, I'll tell you that much. But, and again, like, am I really thinking about the geometry right now in terms of the connections? No, but no, and then when I'm aware of it, immediately I am. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up, go back, think. So like, constantly try to tax my working memory, right? And let's be real, like I probably am in a high effort state only 60 to 70% of the time, right? And maybe only 60 to 70% of the time to you is insane because you're like, bro, I'm barely like able to keep in that state. Guess what? The more you do, the better you get. In the beginning, being in this state of like extremely high effort, maybe 30%, right? More effort was spent being exhausted, being in, putting effort in, right? So I get it. I will keep telling you, I fucking get it. Like I literally get it, okay? That's why you should give me money, because I get it. I'm relatable, right? And then this is where the ear supposedly is, something like this. I don't know if that makes too much sense. Again, like I have not achieved what I want to achieve in terms of understanding, so I can't really tell you that I get it like this. I get, right? But hey, this is the, yeah, see, and that's the sphere, and then she's got some hair. For some reason, people like that shit. But overall, let's just close this off. Some shit line work. But yeah, like I get it. It's extremely difficult. But now we're gonna do the fun part. What was Vagu? What was Vagu in the Bagu trying to see? Well, you see, he was doing a little bit of this. He was trying to see through the form down here. See, look, he understood now that now I'm always like, I'm constantly realizing that I don't see the back of the form correctly in terms of the length, the width, and the girth, right? No, but like I'm just not making the like, it's just not accurate in terms of the line size, right? Like the line size is like, this is a bit too long, right? This back is too long compared to this, and that's me like actively being like, hey, I think this is correct, right? And then same thing, like this, I'm seeing this other side of this plane, right? I'm seeing this, and this is like, I cannot think about the ellipse. I'm telling you right now, like I'm gonna keep trying, because now I have an entire 3 additional planes to think about. Did I even think about this back plane, like of this this front plane? Did I even think about that? Fuck no, fuck no, bro. I need to keep thinking about all this shit. It's so hard. It's amazing, right? But I just want to keep telling you guys that you're capable, and girls, right? The fucking male-dominated language, right? Like you guys and girls, fucking. I just really want to keep telling you guys you're capable of it. And if you expect it to be easy, that's another thing I can tell you. Stop. Stop expecting things to be easy, right? Like it's just never gonna be easy, right? It's the only reason that you're not enjoying the work that you're doing is you're expecting the work to not be work. You're expecting to somehow chance upon an understanding that you don't have because you don't have the understanding and you haven't put in the thousands of fucking repetitions in over years of your life to understand, right? And this applies to me as well. This 100% applies to me as well. Like the work is literally what you're capable of, but it is work. And that's why it's a good thing, because you are not someone who is just trying to fuck around, right? If you are, this channel really isn't for you, because my entire channel clearly is about the fact that we can all be great, right? And I'm gonna prove it through relentless work ethic, right? And I'm not really proving anything. I'm just regurgitating the same shit everybody who's fucking a million times better than me says, which is it's just work that you're all capable of. Maybe that's the one thing that they don't say enough of. And honestly, they probably do. Like, let's be real, they probably do. A lot of artists understand how difficult it is. They're very inspiring, right? But if the thing is, like, they're not as explicit of what that work is. This is what the work looks like. This is what mental energy actually is. It's cognitive endurance. If you're trying to draw things in 3D, if you're actually trying to become good at drawing, right? Right? Because you can get away with pretty mid perspective if you want to like really focus on fucking painterly or stylistic, blah blah blah. But the thing is, that's not even a right sentence, and I can't think right now because my brain's fucking dead, right? But no, because even if you're trying to be good at painting, painters are just incredible draftsmen as well, because they are just creating large blocks of values and shapes on form that they see and understand and can reason. So either fucking way, right? If you're just trying to get good at art, you will never ever go wrong with spatial reasoning, and you're capable of that to such a degree that you don't even realize because you haven't put in the work to be capable of that yet. There you go. That's inspirational, right? And then see, I have to think through this form as well, and that's the sphere, right? And again, like I still need to really work on my ellipses. You can see that like in one fell swoop, like in doing it in one line, you can see that's just fucking wrong. That's just like shit. That's just wrong, right? Like same thing here. I need to really focus on visualizing and applying. See, oh look at that. That line went off course, right? But still constantly trying. Like this is just shit, and you'll be like, you might look at this and be like, wow, what the fuck? His ellipses are worse than mine. Yes, because there's a million things to think about, right? That's part of output regression. When you have more things to think about, more things will suffer holistically, but more things will be understood long term, right? On that trajectory, on the long term trajectory, more things will be understood, right? And am I even thinking about this ellipse? Not really, but do I understand it? A little bit more. Okay. And then again, like you see, it's all aligned. It's aligned here, it's aligned there, it's aligned down here. Oh, I get this. This is so beautiful. The fact that I actually understand the space in which the sphere resides inside the box, but the box is inaccurate, so the box needs work. And now I understand like generally like the spatial reasoning of the face and how that resides inside of this. Bruh. Time to nut. I'm gonna fucking bust a goddamn jism on this page once I'm done recording, right? I'm gonna come to your page and jizz on that too. But shit jokes aside, or I guess jizz jokes aside in this context, right? I mean, I hope this was insightful. This was great for me. Like, I finally figured it out. I finally figured out how the fucking forms sit geometrically within each other, right? And now, the only thing left to do, quote unquote, only thing left to do, which is the rest of my fucking life, right? Which I'm extremely grateful for the ability that I even have the ability to do this, is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of trial and error and practice and repetition and sheer intentional effort, right? Which everyone is capable of, right? Genuinely, you're all capable of this. So, once again, Viggy famming, right? By the way, the definition of Viggy famming is literally just trying your best with as much effort as you can and then resting your brain. During practice and after practice. You better fucking be resting your brain for minimum 15 minutes after this practice. And that's literally the definition of Viggy famming. That entire paragraph, that's a definition, right? Including all the little tangents. Even this, what I'm saying right now, is part of the definition. So make sure to write it down, make sure to put on a plaque, right? Even this, and now it's done. You're welcome. Right now, when I said now it's done, you're welcome, that was the end. You're welcome, right? So anyways, fucking shit. Dude, my sense of humor is top tier. Top tier. So with that being said, as always, I hope you put a lot of effort in. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. And please, I get my money.